This video is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, where you can find cool stuff in stock.
Hello and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB, and today in the arena, a deck that just went 16-0 in the Channel Fireball Clash over the weekend that is not Rogues, and actually has a lot of cards that we haven't seen in any of the top performing decks lately. But before we get to that, Extra Life Charity, 1 week left on the drive. It all ends on Saturday. The original goal was $1,000. I had a feeling we'd get to that with the match offer that I made for the Mistman Showdown, but then we raised it to $3,000, then $5,000, then I think I did $7,000, and now the goal sits at $10,000, which I think is going to be the most. I think that's the highest goal of a Magic content creator, individual content creator in the Extra Life program. The team, Witches of the Coast, is absolutely crushing it. Thanks to you guys. So, 10,000. I'm going to make you an offer. Maybe you can refuse it, maybe you can't. I'm going to make an offer. If you hit the 10,000 goal, you know that dude in the comments keeps talking about Dream Trawler, Magic Mirror, and Teferi's Ageless Insight, leaves a comment on every single video? I know it tilts some of you because I've seen the replies to these comments. You know that deck? The Dream Trawler Magic Mirror deck? I will build and play that deck and shut the dude up. That's the offer. If we hit 10,000, if everybody who watches this video chips in $1, that would be easy. So if you've ever considered supporting the channel, please make a donation to Extra Life. The link is at the top of the description. And thank you very much for that. And yeah, now let's get into the undefeated deck by Pro Matthias Leverato in the recent Channel Fireball Clash. Boo, CGB, it's another Croxa deck. You did a Croxa deck like 2 days ago for Halloween, CGB. Boo, we hate it. Oh, but you do not see, commenters. You do not see. This is actually Rakdos Sacrifice. It's the return of Claim the Firstborn and Village Rites. It's the return of Woe Strider, although only one copy, which surprises me quite a bit. But this package with the Steel and SAC thing is made to beat the Gruul Adventure decks. 2 big decks right now. Two big decks. 2 big decks right now. Rogues and Gruul Adventures. For Rogues, you have the escape mechanic. Haha! For Adventures, for Gruul Adventures, you have the Steal Your Embercleaved Lovestruck Beast. Maybe that's a bad example because you need a 1/1. Steal your Embercleaved Kazandu Mammoth and smash you with it. That's what the anti-Gruul Adventure tech is. What about Yorion? What about Control Strategies? Well, we have these Skyclave Shades. They're okay in other matchups, but they're particularly good with Village Rites, making Village Rites a good card. They're also not bad with Claim the Firstborn. If you play a 6th land, you can kick this out of the graveyard, claim it, make it hasty, and attack for 5. Claim also works for a hasty Croxa, which is excellent as well. So there's more use to claim in this than normal. And there is Woe Strider. I am surprised that's only 1 copy, but the escape fuel is mostly managed by Croxa, and you find it more often thanks to Timrit Calls the Dead. So this new kind of anti-Gruul take on Rakdos is what we're going to try out, and you're going to run into it on ladder. I would prefer to spice up the content and play more Yorion decks myself. That is trolling. But I know that this is going to get popular. Croaky's played a version that also runs Claim the Firstborn and a Crowan War. So what they call the yoink effects are coming back, and you're going to run into them on ladder, and it sucks when it's a surprise. Always sucks when your Annex Hardened in the Forge that attacks for like 17 is yoinked. So I'm giving you guys a first look. It's time to start expecting Claim the Firstborn again. Playing around it can make a big difference between wins and losses, so I think showcasing this deck is the right move for today. I only made some minor changes in the mana base. I took out the temples. There was the Black-Red Temple. I took those out for the Triome. I like Triome better because it can go to the graveyard and fuel things like Kroxa and Woe Strider. And I also get to add Castle Locked Lane, which I think is really good in decks like this that play out their hand, and you want to keep hitting lands to bring back Shades. So I turned 2 Swamps into 2 Castles, and I turned 4 Temples into 4 Triomes, so Castle would enter the battlefield untapped more often, because this is a Swamp. In the sideboard, there is stuff. If you play best of 3, you'll figure out what it's for. If they have spells, duress them. If they use sweepers, remorse them. Or if they use escape cards, and cling them as well. And if they have small creatures, eliminate them. And if they have artifacts, shred them. And if they have combos of those things, use the Nightmare. And Ox is good against rogues or grindy matchups. Okay, sideboarding. Blah. Let's dive in and let the claim and rights sacrifice nonsense begin. You, Castle, coming out to bite me right away with this Fable Passage. Makes me want to fetch a Swamp. This can be a red source though, so maybe that's not so bad. We were probably going to take 3 from a Bone Crusher Giant, or from a Shatter Skull Smashing, keeping this hand, but I think we go for it. Could be worse. Also depends what our opponent is playing. For example, we could play a tapped Hagar Mauling. Next turn, take 3 to play this. Bone Crush the opponent's thing or play a Shade. The next turn, Kroxa or Shade. We don't play Timurit Calls the Dead on time. And this can be a removal spell for later. Why don't we... You know what? We'll get the Swamp. We're just going to end up taking 3. I think it's the safest way to curve out. Some real head scratchers with the new lands, man. Okay. Could be Jeskai. Or wait, is that the green? I'll check that in a second. Red, white. Red, white, red, white. I don't know. It's a mystery. Skyclave Shade. Start throwing shade at the opponent. 3 points a turn until they're dead. Rip. If I had a Village Rites, I would have slow rolled that shade because of the white mana and the potential Glass Casket, but without the Village Rites, I don't think it made sense to do. Let's stay mana efficient. Just pay the 3 here, call the dead, start filling the graveyard. Maybe we'll find another shade. This version of the deck doesn't have sails, so I don't have an answer to the casket right away. Ooh, decline. Gonna need that. Every land has become shade. Although, hopefully, the opponent can't kill it. If we had an untapped land here, we could have held up Bone Crusher Giant for our own shade if they have another casket. Alright, another land off the top that they're willing to take 3 for. This looks like an Ugin deck. That's not good. Or a Yorion, but that would be kind of weird. So, do we kill this? Seems like it's all about damage here. You get to draw a card, which I hate that, but it is what it is. I think we're going to get Wrath, but I think playing the Giant to draw a card off it makes it worth it. Ooh, wrong Wrath. I mean, for me. Rankle's good, though. Keeps the pressure very high. So we have a Shade in the graveyard, so we want to draw, and we also want to discard, because I want to give up this Thirst. I could also give up the Kroxa. Thirst isn't doing much, but the Kroxa's doing close to less and could come out of the graveyard. But against this deck, they're just going to exile it, so for me, this is Thirst. Land. Wrong land. Really needed an untapped land there. Let's see what level of regrets we have. Field of Ruin. could blow up my Castle Laflame's land. Heliod's Punishment. So this, I have to tap it 4 times? That's obnoxious. But our opponent's on 6. And we can Kroxa the heck out of them. Let's activate you. Can't do anything until this is gone anyway, and I don't want to forget. Alright, if they have all lands, they die. Heliod's Intervention. Interesting. Alright, bring it out. Trigger. Get those cards. Get those cards. Storm's Wrath down. Alright, 3 cards to go. 5 cards in the graveyard. Banishing Light the Kroxa. Yep. This is getting really close. Ooh, and an attack. Alright. We could draw Claim the Firstborn. Counting my land. Yeah, 6. 5. This would be discard 6, 7. Field of Ruin would be 8. They're getting to a spot where they can bring back the Ox. Ooh, Bone Crush my face. Cast Bone Crusher. No cards in hand, you die. And the claim. How do we want to kill him? What's the correct lethal? It's got to be Kroxa, right? It's got to be Kroxa. Oh wait, we're mana short? Fine. How dare you attack me with your Solemn Simulacrum. You see what I mean? Gotta be prepared for the yoink now. Thinking about the yoink, they wouldn't have attacked with that robot. I'm not sure about the hand. It might get run over, but I'm willing to give it a try. Rogies? Uh-oh. Get the tap land down. Here we go. Come on, Kroxa. Yes, come on. Give me the cards in my graveyard. Do it. Claim. And we have Village Rights too. We could just finish with this now before they can counter anything. Draw 2 cards, but I think it's better to play the Mire Triton. We slow roll this for the flyer, something that's hard to block. Besides, them filling my graveyard isn't necessarily a bad thing. Kroxa lurks. Somewhere in the deck, Kroxa lurks. No attacks. You see? I am the one who knocks. Let's go knocking. And let's deploy our Escape Critter Woe Strider. We want this to be countered or killed as soon as possible, so we can start escaping. Although that takes 5 mana. So maybe not as soon as possible. You should live for a turn. It'll be good. It'll be good for all of us. Wow. Okay. It's pretty aggro. Do you have a Cling? Maybe they have a Cling. Cling to Dust to exile this would be, I think, best case scenario for them. They also might be trying to get to where they can cast Into the Story before I escape the Woe Strider. So we have to keep that in mind. Tick-tock. Oh. Oh. Well. Okay then. Are you going to take the Woe Strider? Hype. So, as additional cost sacrifice, this deals damage. So I can't sack the Death Touch creature. Opponent's feeling big brain right now. We'll see about that. Gimme. You gonna give up your goat or are you gonna block? I'd take a block over a scry. That's just how I value things, but it does depend on your hand. If you are the perfect top deck away from something, then the scry can make more sense. I think most people feel smarter, though, if they scry than if they gain life. Yeah. It will go back to the opponent. So we've got to do the thing. Now the Xerath gets to steal something else if, mind you, they can get past the Mire Triton. We do need to draw a solution to Xerath. It's super annoying and super awkward. Okay. Kroxa can clean our graveyard up very well, so that's good. Alright, here come the roguies. They're coming. The rogues are coming out to play. This is one of the more deliberate rogue players I've ever seen in my life. Just click, click, click. Rogue players, am I right, guys? Rogue players. Rankle's a rogue, so I'm gonna take Rankle. Alright, another claim, but we can't claim Rankle, can we? This is getting ugly. What can we do? We don't have a way to sacrifice the creature unless we get back the Woe Strider, which we can do next turn. This turn we can get back Kroxa. We could claim the Kroxa and get aggressive. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Hold on. We gotta think about the permanence that the critter would want. You know, the Xerath. So it's those, and maybe the Woe Strider. But I think the Woe Strider might still be worth it. So Kroxa is probably getting blocked by Thieves Guild Enforcer, and we're at 12. So this is a lot of damage. So I don't think I can haste. So I should do, what are you on, 4? I should do this, this. I think I'm going to have to like bring out Woe Strider and claim it and have, or claim in Fury. Like that's what I'm going to need to do to find lethal next turn. This is 9, 10 damage that I see. If they top deck a removal spell, they win. Okay, game on. So they're not going to want to attack with the Xerath. Rankle Sacrifice, we just give up the Shade. If they make me discard, we can discard the Passage. I think we'll find a way to deal 11. It does depend what they attack with. This is big. Here come the Flyers. And let's see, if this doesn't get powered up, it's 1, 4, 7, and then fling, and they take 3 from the Kroxa trigger. We should be able to do this. Oh, they draw. That's interesting. And they sacrifice. What? Okay. They're making it very interesting. They gave themselves another top deck too. Is it a good one? Let's find out. Up to 7 cards, by the way. 1 more in the graveyard, and the Thieves Guild Enforcer's powered up, and the Kroxa requires a card to go to the graveyard. We say go. Think we recast? Although I guess a lot could go wrong here, and I don't have to do it now. Resolves. Alright. Full control. What did you draw? What did you draw? I'm gonna hate it, aren't I? It is Cling. That's gonna be life. Up to 8. Let's see how this goes. That Cling to Dust is a perfect draw. An absolutely perfect draw. Because now it reshrinks the Enforcer and gains even more life. So what am I going to do? Die? I can sacrifice the Kroxa, kill the Rankle or the Xerath. I can bring back the Woe Strider, take 1 more hit from the Xerath. Run 13 cards in the graveyard. Bring back Shade, use the Fury. Giving the opponent back the Enforcer, it's going to be huge. So making 2 blockers is really important. I think I just try to survive the Rankle? Go to 1? Like, killing this and giving them this back is death. Sacrificing this doesn't do anything. I think it's this. Alright, we have to think about Xerath, so we want to get rid of the permanents. We want to keep the Shade, though. Oh no, I was supposed to sacrifice the... Oh, I meant to do it too. I don't know what happened. That was a brain fart. I meant to sacrifice the Enforcer. I had to do that. Ah, but it's still close. It's still close. This goes up to 5. 5, they need 1 more for the Cling. It's not a good attack because of the goat. What? Okay, so they're saying if I block with everything, I also have to sacrifice the Kroxa, but they sacrifice the Rankle. Then they exile... Alright, I have to block everything. There's no choice there. If I block here, here, and here, here, do I have to kill something? Yes, I do. God, I blew it. Alright. This was a good game, too. We have to keep the creature here because we need the opponent to do the sacrifice effect. Let's see if we also draw a card. Well, they can't get rid of the Woe Strider and the Kroxa. That's the bright side. That is the bright side. Discard a card. They have Cling, they have 5. What? How are they going to survive this? What am I missing? Oh, it's just 1 by 1 by 1. Okay. That's the draw, though. That's the draw. All right. No, it's not. They go up to 8. Should have saved the mauling then. Wait a minute. But what if I guess it depends on what's in their hand now. It depends on what's in their hand. If it's a land, we win? Full control. Resolve the ability. I guess we could cast this and fling this. And then have 2 mana left, so let's do this. So we're still alive even if this is a counter. It is a counter. Oh my god. Whiff. Are you kidding me? To life. Let's empty the graveyard first. Gotta think about Zareth. But I guess that's not too hard here. So we're not just dead to a Thought Thief, because we have the Triton. Really close, though. Drowning the lock. Yep. Thieves Guild Enforcer for the opponent. If they have a removal spell, they win. I deserve to lose this game, to be fair. That was a heck of a punt to give my opponent back the Enforcer and hit end turn. Yep. Let them attack or play out their hand, because, you know, flex. That one hurts. I was not supposed to lose to Rogues, and I blew that one. That's on me. On the draw, another so-so hand. Relying on Mire Tritons. Here we go. Let's go, Rogues. I see you. I see you, Rogues. Thanks for the shade, brah. Alright, so we want to Bone Crush this, we just need to time it well. So like their upkeep is probably the best time. Alright. Do I want to get milled? What a question. We do have Kroxa in the deck. But it just plays into their stuff too much. We don't want to let them get too much of a foothold in the game. If they just aggro us out, like we saw last time, we were under too much pressure, and we ended up getting punked out, so let's try to keep the damage down. I'm thankful for this rematch with Rogues to try to regain my honor. The Gargoyle. Wow. Okay, that's gotta go, right? Too big, too strong. We do have to get to 7 cards in the graveyard, though, and we have escape cards. We could just end up turning it off. Maybe it's better to Bone Crush this. Come on, Croxa. Yeah, this gargoyle's gonna be live soon. Oh! My bad, everybody. My bad. First things first. Show them what pain is going to look like. See if they've got Cling. Triumph Cycle. Okay. Like seeing that response. We've only got 1 mana open now. We can kill this sucker. I could have also Village Rights the Croxa, but I'm going to save it for if we draw a claim. I think that's better. Besides, we don't want to fetch 2 black sources. We want to fetch a red source to get Croxa back. all the shade triggers. Who knew I was playing a landfall deck? This is nonsense. Would you like to feed the beast? Yep. Mystical Dispute. That ain't gonna do you much good. Or maybe it will. They're just gonna have to pay for it. So this should be an into the story from the opponent. If they're following the script. Everybody has into the story against me. That's just a known entity at this point. Okay, Wind Robber. Let's start the party. Not the Shade party. That'll come later. Shade is so bad on the draw. I think every game we've played with Shade so far has been on the draw. It's just been such a beating. Croxa, 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 Croxa. And Croxa. The Great Rogue Slayer. Anybody miss Uro yet? It's probably a sore subject. Maybe that one's too soon. I don't know. Boing. Do what you gotta do. So we need to draw land because we've got everything we need. We just can't lose to tempo. Okay, we also have to draw removal. We were foiled by Rankle before. Will we be foiled by Rankle again? Rankle's kind of the perfect card for the opponent to have there. It will be immune to claim. And it puts us on a clock. Croxa's a heck of a clock too, though. Each player discards a card. What are we on, 3? I think it's this, though. Or, alright. Well, I can't bring it back yet, but I can play these Mire Tritons. I can play this Timurit Calls the Dead. Is it better to play Bone Crusher Giant than Timurit Calls the Dead? 6, it is. We have to counterattack this Rankle. And since there's a Brazen Borrower too, that's going to be hard. Croxa is strong, though. Well, opponent, are we racing? You drew a land. You scry to the top, and you can draw it with the Rankle. Must be nice. Must be something they feel can tilt the race. So I think we're giving up on Village Rights, or the Calls the Dead. I think it's Calls the Dead at this point. Too expensive, too slow. If that would resolve, I believe in it. But let's attack first. I think that what we're doing this turn is Fabled Passage, get back Croxa, Mire Triton. Take it. So this is the play they know about. Let's make the face-up play. Actually, with the shades, we don't want to do that. I very much want to Shatter Skull Smash, I just don't think it's actually going to resolve. So, try to give me a break today. They did keep on top, remember? So it should be a counter spell. If it's not, I don't know what they're doing with their life, but we're going to find out right here. Keep the other Kroxa in case there's a Cling to Dust. I guess I could have played around Drown in the Lock if I had played a little differently. Now we could play the Shade or we could play the Mire. The Mire gains life, refills Graveyard. And then if anything dies next turn, we can get back the Kroxa. The Shade hits a little bit harder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I don't think that's a big difference. It's both dead to Bone Crusher Giant or a Kroxa that works, and the life could be huge. Another land for the opponent. So I'm guessing they're going to be drawing with Rankle again. They're very close to death. Might as well do discard. Not gonna do sacrifice, I don't think. Although they could flash in the Borrower, sacrifice the Borrower to get rid of a Mire Triton since the Borrower can't block anyway. Alright, discard. Draw. Sacrifice. Whoa. How about that? Is this going to be the time that the Kroxa happens? Let's attack first. See what they do. Might have a removal spell. We could have gone for Claim Kroxa. I'm anticipating they have something here. But I guess playing Kroxa first could have almost ensured that we win the game with Claim Kroxa. I am not good at these decks. We established this the last time I played Sacrifice decks, and with Claim the Firstborn, I do not see all the lines. It's not in my nature. It's completely out of comfort zone. I think I might be worse with these as far as like just gross misplays. I might be worse with Sacrifice decks than I am with aggro decks. Alright, well it was a removal spell, so I don't have to feel too bad. If I had brought back Kroxa, Drown in Lock would have killed it, Claim would not have worked. But that's 2 straight Drown in the Lock top decks. I had to use Rankle to do it though. You're gonna die. I'm gonna get ya. Yes, yes. Of course you played Raise and Borrow, yes. Shade. Alright, get out of this one, rogues. Get out of this one. What more can I do? Oh, we got a dancer. We got a dance off, baby. Alright. Alright, buddy. Have some purple love. You get some purple love for dancing. Well, we haven't called the dead in a minute. Let's see what they're up to this weekend. More rogues? Alright. I should like the rogue matchup, I'm just traumatized by how badly I've played in it so far. So, this is a growth moment. I'm going to play well. Just you watch. Just you watch. Alright. Our opponent might have Soaring Thought Thief, which means Bone Crusher, holding a Bone Crusher here isn't very good. So let's play Mire Triton. Joke's on you. You came to mill me. I'm into that. Oh. Okay, maybe it's not Rogues then. How do you think the control matchup is? I would guess it's okay. Although Claim the Firstborn's probably bad. Skyclave Shade is probably good. Kroxa. Do we want to draw 2 off the Kroxa, or do we want to call the dead? Because we could play Kroxa Village Rites. Let's start with the attack. See if the opponent has another Shark Typhoon. They do not. They have a lot of mana, though. So this might get countered. So might this. I'm going to go for the Calls the Dead. I think it's the best overall play. Punished. I guess that would have countered the Village Rites, though, too. We need the Shades. That's the main reason that Timurit Calls the Dead is a good play. Shades against this deck are so good. Grixis. Alright. Well, they showed us the Disruption, but I'm going to make them do it again. Hey, we resolved one. That's good. And we have an enchantment to turn into a zombie, which wouldn't have happened if the last one hadn't been countered. I feel good about myself. Hagra Mauling? Bone Crusher Giant. Oh, that's a good one. That, I think, is a Mauling. Yep, and a Tome. Okay. The party continues. Still nothing out of the graveyard that we can use. That's tilting. We have drawn the cards we would have liked to escape. Let's send the Kroxa. Oh, your own Kroxa. Well, we have Bloodchief's Thirst for that. Let's send another. Do you have another Kroxa? The True Mirror. Alright. Do they have a Fabled Passage to get their Kroxa back now? I guess they also need another red, but Fabled Passage would fetch it, probably. Some of these Grixis decks, though, they splash for Kroxa. They don't always have 2 mountains, which seems a little crazy to me. Alright, well, there's a Woe Strider. Is Woe Strider good in this matchup? I don't think so. Shades are good, but we're not drawing those. So, we can attack. If the opponent blocks with a Bone Crusher, we can Bone Crush the Bone Crusher, but then we don't get Kroxa back, which I think is a lot worse. Let's do Kroxa things. It means the opponent might find a red source and get their Kroxa back, but we can discard the Bone Crusher Giant and use Bloodchief's Thirst on their Kroxa. Hopefully this will be a game where we get to show off how sweet the castle is. In a grindy matchup. Triple Kroxa. Alright. Fun. So, is it Extinction Event? It is Extinction Event. Draw 2. Lands it is. Down to 20. Shall we continue the party of Kroxa? We have 7 cards graveyard, so we get another one here. Ooh, Rankle, though. We don't have a creature to sacrifice. Although, man, Claim the Firstborn would be nice. What would we do? I'd probably discard a land. Discard draw. And then 2 more mana, I guess we can Bone Crush face. Mystical Dispute down. Ooh, that's a good one. Although still vulnerable to another Extinction Event, but there's no Kroxa on the board, so if they Extinction Event here, I'm pretty happy. This Bone Crusher Giant has just been hanging out, waiting to be discarded to Kroxa because it's not good in the matchup. So it's a great card, don't get me wrong. It's just we've got to do a lot better, I think. The opponent has 4 life and another card left on the tome that can go with a Kroxa if they choose to do it. But no! Does nothing. Is that another Mystical Dispute or a Shark Typhoon, do you think? I think it's a Shark Typhoon. They expect Rankle to walk into this Shark Typhoon, but I have double Bone Crusher, so that's solid. I guess the opponent would have to block this. But then they bring back Kroxa, and I lose the Bloodchief's Thirst. But I still have these creatures. Oh wait, I can draw from Rankle. I'll have something else to discard to Kroxa. This is fine. Okay, not a Shark Typhoon. Weird timing. Just in time to get me to attack with the Rankle. Did they do that on purpose? Trade here because otherwise the Rankle sacrifice gets you. Alright, well in that case I'm going to discard and draw. And we're going to drop off a Bone Crusher Giant. Another Mystical Dispute. Do you think they have yet another Mystical Dispute? Makes sense. So if this isn't going to resolve, we shouldn't play it. Although we have 13 cards, we can play it over multiple turns. Okay, we'll play around Jwari Disruption by playing this first. I do think it will get countered, though. The opponent was expecting this. Okay, it's Essence Scatter. See if they have something for the Mire Triton. There's the Shades. This is the matchup that they're pretty good, as long as we don't walk into Extinction Event head first. Scry to the top. Is it the opponent's time to Kroxa? They can't like the idea because Rankle just makes them sacrifice it. Village Rites. Again? No. Let's attack first. No Shark Typhoon. Grixis doesn't usually have many ways to gain life, so just riding this pay 1 life draw a card thing might add up to a lot of damage over time. We have Cycle Neutralize. Ooh. Ooh. Alright. I'm giving up the Thirst. I think we can win through a Kroxa. I'm not worried about it anymore. There's the land. So now we play around a Mystical Dispute, and we get to cast Shade. And we have rights to protect Shade from Extinction Event. Little by little. They have to solve Rankle. Shadow's Verdict doesn't solve Rankle. It also, like, I can't save like my Shade and my Triton either. That is a devastating card. Should I go for the 2? I think I should. I just have to try to find another source of lethal here. It doesn't save these things. They need like Heartless Act or something to kill the Rankle. I need another Bone Crusher Giant to kill them. Wow, they playing Shadow's Verdict with their own Croxes. That's just a maniac. And now do you die? Do you die? Could be a Cling to Dust, but they just exiled the graveyard, so... I'm gonna make you choose to discard a card, just in case they have some instant life gain. Like I said, Cling to Dust, right? But there's no creature! There's no creature for the Cling. They needed to do that before they verdicted. They messed up. One misplay deserves another, and that's game. And we could have responded to it with Bone Crusher Giant there. So, wasn't really hope for them either way. So far today, rolling about 50-50. Haven't stolen many things. Like, minimal claiming of the Firstborn, which, not really what I signed up for. I signed up for Yoink Tribal. What the heck is this that we're facing? Let's get one of these cracked, I think. Ramp? That's gotta be a bad matchup. Yeah. Wow. Bold to play Ramp in the aggro meta, but maybe it's not the aggro meta anymore. I feel like I do not play against aggro anymore, guys. I don't know what's going on. Like, we haven't played Adventures today at all, which I expected to be a really good deck. Alright, we take the 2/2. I'd rather have the free thing than the thing I have to cast later, even if it's something I'd prefer to be in the graveyard. Yeah, we're not even close to fast enough for this deck, and we're on the draw. Like, this is... ugh. This is terrible. Can we kill it? Not really. Juicy target. Yeah, this is... nope. This is a whole bunch of pain. Oh, don't swarm me. Don't swarm me. I guess they're trying to decide if they care about the zombies. They can kill a zombie token for free here. So they don't have another ramp spell though. This is their whole turn. That's the bright side. Take 5. Nice. Alright. How to do this. We probably smash these, and then the Rankle makes them sacrifice the Terror. That went about as well as it could have. Unless they have a counter, or a Brazen Borrower. Something off the radar. Doesn't look like it. Alright. Each player discards a card. Each player sacrifices a creature. No card draw. I don't need to help them cast Genesis Ultimatum. None of that. What are we discarding? I think we discard the other Smashing, although it's good against another Scoot Swarm, as we just saw. And it is a land drop for a Shade, although I exiled that. Oh, man. Is it the Giant? Giant for 5 mana is a lot of pressure. Maybe it's the Calls the Dead. It does potentially find Kroxa, but I don't know. I don't know about this one. What's my plan for the frickin' Giant? I'm gonna have to block it, right? Maybe it's Village Rites because I don't have time? Although Claim... You want that Claim Rights to go together. This is a really tough one. I think I'm gonna pick the Giant, and I hate this decision. But I do want more things to sacrifice to the Rankle. Oh no. Okay, land off the top. Can we do it? So I could smash... I could 2-for-1 myself, but this thing can't really attack and the opponent missed the land drop, so they have more spells. Ugh! Oh man. This is not good. A land would have done it there, but we didn't get that. If we attack, the opponent has to block. Like, a bluff attack is pointless. More nerds. No land, no land, no land. Don't do it. Don't do it to me. Cobra. Target Rankle. Oh no. And a Giant too, probably. Yeah. Ugh. Rankle. Rankle tried to carry this game. Came up short. Alright. We need a land for the Shatter Skull. Rankle is not done yet. Epic draw. Although, they just sacrificed the Cobra, but they take us so much damage. But we're so close to dead. Down to 6. Sacrifice a creature, discard a card. I will drop off Village Rites, I think. The Smashing can still get me through for lethal next turn. But am I better off with the Rites? If the opponent plays the Giant, that's 12 damage to my face. I'm not quite dead. And if they play the Giant, they can't attack or they die on the crackback. And Shatter Skull might just be pointless here. Alright. Close game again. A land. Beanstalk Giant. It's not enough to kill me though. Oh, going face. How's your math skills? Alright. Do we go for the draw 2 here? What do we have to do? We have to kill the Terror. So, like, is this any good? I guess we can wait for the Scry. Kroxa, that's 3 damage. Second Kroxa! That's it, right? Double red, black, black. Might as well keep this. I think we just did it. Full control. Don't think I needed the second Kroxa either. It's just for the flavor, man. pulling it off. Rankle, you get MVP, dude. Well done, prankster. I have been waiting all day to claim the frickin' firstborn some stuff, but look at my opponent. Frickin' Yorion. I don't think the hands actually get better. This hand is slow, but our deck is slow. The claims may be bad, but if the opponent gives us anything to claim, we have Village Rites. So, if they give me even like a Skyclave Apparition, I'll be happy. Good opening, good opening. Rankle's probably a really good draw there. Rankle's one of the better cards. Oh. Oh. What's this? Do we let the opponent have that for a turn? I think so, because we can fill our graveyard and hit them harder. For example, there goes a creature. What is this? There's an apparition. Okay. So we want to set up Rankle and claim. So this turn we can claim... I think we should claim the app. Because we get the 2/2. Might be more damage in the long term. And our graveyard might fill up a little bit more. Yoink. Punch. Rights. We could kill the Fiend. Save the Yoink Rankle for later. Maybe that's just the right play. Just a reminder, guys, there's a lot of Yorion decks in the world. They're not all blue-white or Esper control. Now, can we find a way to apply the pressure and keep the pressure on against whatever is going on here? Looks like a lot of creatures. They have their own Mire Triton. And the Charming Prince. Okay, this is like probably a Nethroi deck that just brings everything back from the graveyard. 2 on top. Gross. So against that deck... like going all, I guess we go all in for the Rankle here because we clear their board. They can't mutate because it does require a creature to mutate. See how you want to block? Block your own thing so that the sacrifice effect doesn't hurt you. I would have definitely blocked the illusion. I think that would have been a better move. Alright, discard a card. Do we want to use the draw? No, they kept both on top. So we'll just try to make this game smaller by forcing discards here. Goose. Goose could have blocked Rankle. They must have an answer. And it is. It's Skyclave Apparition. And another land. They kept what's on top, right? So if they sacrifice this, they shuffle. I think I'm just going to gun this out of the way. Make a 4/4. Get him for 2 more. Keep the pressure on. They are going to shuffle. Whatever they had set up, they don't want it anymore. Another forest. What's that? Eerie Ultimatum? I guess they needed double green for just about anything. Not a good read. That's a big Fiend Artisan. Crap. Okay. How do we get around that? How do we get around that? Let's play the Shade. Draw some cards. Okay. 2 claims gone, only 1 left. Wolf? Sure. Are you gonna get aggressive? No. Coward. Alright, we're calling the dead, baby. We're calling the dead. It'll give us a lot of blockers. There's the Croxa. These Bone Crusher Giants, man. I guess I could force a block here and then I could turn it into a zombie, but I don't think that is the way, as the Mandalorian would say. Now the opponent has Wolf and Fiend. Can they fetch something to get rid of the Croxa? Honk honk. No Landiorian yet. Opponent might go get a Skyclave Apparition. That's something Fiend Artisan can do. So I think I was too aggressive. I should have saved that removal spell for the next Fiend Artisan. I really thought I could get on the aggro plan, but I should have known better. Haven't I ever played Yorion? There is no aggro plan. Wait, this is in their hand? They're gonna lose it to Croxa. They're gonna lose it to Croxa. Maniac! How deep do we have to go to find creatures? Oh my goodness. Okay. Let's decline that. Out of there. Yorion down. They kept something though. It must be an apparition. It must be something for the Croxa. Maybe not. Maybe they're fine with Croxa just sucking their hand. Who knows? We're gonna get a heck of a scry though. So what do we want the most? I want the last claim the firstborn the most. Alright, apparition it is. Take the Croxa. Whatever card's in their hand, that gets Croxa'd too. And they still haven't found aggression. A way to get aggressive. There's another Croxa, a Blood Chief's Thirst. That can take out... I guess I may as well kill the Fiend Artisan instead of steal it. And this we can mill into the graveyard with the Mire Triton, so we'll keep it. Oh no, we're milling all of this. I can draw it with Rankle. I can draw it with Rankle, kill the Artisan. And then I still don't mill with the Triton. I guess I keep the land on top so that I mill the Croxa. Okay, this is complicated. But I think it's like this. Airborne. Baby. Shade get in there. The opponent can block and go indestructible, but well, then at least they use their food. And they're down their food. What if we attacked with everything? The worst thing that happens is we lose the 4/4. Alright. I'm game. If they block everything, we can use the Rankle. The sacrifice ability will kill something important. Down to 3. Alright, discard a card, draw a card, sacrifice a creature. So they kept the Prince to sacrifice. Drop you off. And they're at 2. And now we take out the Artisan. And they might have the Nethroi to bring back a million things, because we didn't get rid of everything, did we? But they would have had to top deck it, and that's not enough. Woo! Got him. I will has my plat too, thank you. Yoink. And we are back for the post-game wrap-up, and this puts to bed video number 638 in a row in MTG Arena. And the power of the Yoink effect was out in force in a few games. Claim the Firstborn, still a very powerful effect when you can make it happen. And Skyclave Shade, just the variance level of this card in Best of One is crazy. It can be the best card in your deck. It can be terrible. It's rarely medium. And it does open up a lot of lines to the deck as far as just having more resources available, but whew, Best of One, it is tough with this card. You might want to go down to 2 copies. If you removed it from the deck entirely, I think the deck would still be playable, but probably not always as good. Maybe you need more Woe Striders in that case. And the deck is good. I think I like, in Best of One, I think I like the Akroan War version a lot. And actually, I am just generally severely uncomfortable playing decks like this, and I miss a lot of the lines. For some reason, the idea of taking the opponent's creatures, doing something with them, finding all the right sacrifices. I'm still going to probably include some games with terrible misplays, which you guys are going to use to assume I'm the worst player on the planet. Let it rip. I'm kind of used to it at this point. But I do learn from it. I do get better over time. I just don't spend a lot of time in these archetypes because it is so far out of my comfort zone. Blinking Yori and stuff, I know a lot of tricks for that. Sacrifice, I'm working on it. And it's okay. It's okay to work on stuff. The thing that I want to check it out is, even though I think I played this pretty medium, I went 5-2. 71% in an extremely small sample size. I think that one of the losses was Esper Doom, and I don't think I had a chance. I think that was completely unwinnable. I think that the loss I had to Rogues, 100% winnable. So this should be a 6-1 deck. And for laddering, pretty solid. And for those of you who aren't going to play this deck much like me, well, guys, Claim the Firstborn is back. Make sure you think about it when setting up your plays. Thank you for watching this video. Please remember to support the Extra Life charity drive that we've got going on. Like I promised in the intro, in case you already forgot, if we hit the $10,000 marker, I will play the Dream Trawler to Fairy's Ageless Insight Magic Mirror deck that the person in comments is consistently every single day asking for, and I know it tilts some of you. So let's put this person's effort to good use. Let's do something positive in the world with it. And if everybody threw in $1, that would be easy mode for the amount of views this video gets. So consider supporting Extra Life. There's only 5 days to go, 4 by the time you see this video. Let's do it. Thank you for everything, for all the support on this charity drive. You've blown my mind. Just warms my heart. I don't have the right words, so I'll say that I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.